Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage, or welcome to Rust Order Garage if you are new to the channel. It is a miserable day today. It is pouring rain, and hopefully the rain on the roof isn't so loud that you can't hear what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm in the middle of doing the 5,000 budget build 1956 Chevy pickup, and I have a couple things I've got to do that I forgot about that I think would be cool to do as a separate video because it applies to pretty much any LS swap if you're a low buck guy like me. And this will be for basically how to connect, say, mechanical gauges to your LS swap cheaply. Now, I'm not saying it's expensive to buy adapters, but this is even cheaper than buying adapters because you don't buy any adapters. So this is how I do it when I do my swaps. So let's do the water temperature first. Basically what I want is I need 3/8 NPT on my engine so I can connect my aftermarket water temperature sending unit, okay? Now they make an adapter that threads into this cylinder head because the threads on the LS heads are metric. I think they're M16 125, but don't quote me, I'm going off the top of my head. But they make an adapter that threads into the cylinder head, and then you would thread your sending unit into it. What I don't like about it is it sticks out of the cylinder head probably 2 inches, because if you have one of those old mechanical style water temp gauge with the bulb and that has to fit in, it sticks out pretty far. I look at that as something that's going to break. No doubt you're going to reach in there and just smack it and it's probably going to snap right off. So what I want to do is basically drill and tap the LS cylinder head for 3/8 NPT, and then I have no adapter needed, and it's very easy to do. So like I said, we'll do the water temp first. First things we're going to do or need is you need a 37/64 drill bit, a 3/8 NPT tap, which may or may not be the most common item, but Harbor Freight sells this kit with the 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch NPT tap and dies. This is probably the cheapest and easiest way you're going to get that tap. And then I'm also going to want some grease or anti-seize or something. I want some grease. And what that's for is to put on the flutes of the tap, so when I tap the hole in the head, the pieces of, or the shavings will stick to the tap and not fall inside the head. So just to keep it out of your coolant system. And you'll also need an 8mm either Allen key, hex bit, whatever, to get the factory plug out of the cylinder head, because I'm going to do this on the passenger side cylinder head in the rear, which from the factory was plugged off. You got to keep the factory temperature sender for the computer in the driver's side front head, so we're going to put the gauge passenger side rear of the head. All right, so we'll get started. Passenger side head. This is the plug I got to get out of there. 8mm hex. Actually had a bit for it, so I'm going to use that. Now I already broke it loose the other day, so it wasn't that tight to take out now, but I had to lean on it when I first took it out, because I think it has not anti-seize, Loctite or something on it. So get that out of there. There's our plug. Get that out of the way. All right, next thing, I've got my drill bit. I've got grease on the flutes there. And you want to drill this straight. It's already got the pretty good size hole there, so it should drill pretty straight, just keeping it with it, lined up with it. You can see the grease is keeping the drill shavings stuck to the drill instead of going inside the engine. And I'm just watching where I'm going through there. I'm going to drill all the way through into into the head, and you know what I'm saying. I'm going all the way through. Just go in a little at a time till we break through there. I think that is it. It's not that deep to get in there. Yep, that's it. Clean that up and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so the next thing is going to be cut the threads. So I've got my 3/8 pipe thread tap here, and I have a sensing unit out of something. It's a water temp sensor out of something, but it's a 3/8 pipe fitting, basically. I'm using as a reference because I'm going to start cutting the threads, and then I'm going to spin this in and check the threads. And you don't want to just go to town with this thing and crank it all the way in, because NPT is National Pipe Taper, not National Pipe Thread. It's a tapered thread. And if you just blow this all the way through there, you're going to make the hole too big and the fitting will never tighten up. So I'm only going to thread this in a few threads at a time. I'm going to put some grease on it to catch the shavings like the drill bit. And then I'm going to come back with this and thread it in and just see how we're doing as far as depth. I want the fitting to tighten up, but I don't want it to be so deep that it can't basically tighten and it will just bottom out. So I'll put the tap on there, and I got to push on it a little bit just to get it going here, get it started. I want to keep it straight with the hole. We'll get it going. And it's already cutting. You can see the shavings on it. We'll get it started. And then we're going to back it out. Because you don't want to just do it in one shot either, because the shavings can actually get bound up in the tap and lock it up. Get that out of there. And you can see all the shavings that the grease is catching there. Can you? Where's the camera? There it is. See all the stuff getting picked up there. And clean that off. And we're already cutting threads there. Here's my fitting. And it's doing good. I'm going to go in a little bit further. I'm not going to go too deep, just enough to get it so it'll tighten up without being too far in. All right, tap's got fresh grease on it. Cleaned it up a little bit. Get it threading in on our threads we just made there. Let's just spin right in easy. And then we'll start cutting some more. And that's it. Let's see if that's enough. Aluminum head, so it doesn't take much to get the threads cut. And I am not threaded all the way through the hole. The hole is drilled in further than my threads are right now. Let's see. I think that is good. My hand is sliding because of the greasy glove, but that should be good to go. I'll get the camera closer so you can see the threads. All right, that is good. And that is with the fitting tightened down with a wrench. You can see there's still some threads left on the fitting, which is perfect. You don't want it to run out of threads. That is tight with a wrench. So that's going to be perfect. I'll show you the threads. I'll get that out and you can see how far in I went. All right, there you can see how far in I went with the tap. What's that, maybe five, 6 threads? That's all it needs. Don't want to go in too far. You can see I drilled the hole all the way into the water jacket, if I can keep my hand steady. But the threaded area is only so far deep. So you just start the tap and just keep track of it with your little test fixture, a sensor or a bushing or something with 3/8 pipe thread. And you just want to make sure you just sneak up on it. And it's really easy to do. But it does cut really easy and real fast, so take your time. All right, so with the water temperature adapter done for free, now we'll do oil pressure for free, as long as you have some tools laying around. So what I do? Well, I got the hammer and smacked the top off the oil pressure unit. Oil pressure sending unit. This was for the Silverado gauge. Don't need it, don't care. This is going to be our adapter. So broke that off. I'm going to throw that in the garbage. I used 1 1/16 regular old socket. They do make a specific socket for these, for oil pressure sending units, but you know what? 1 1/16 6-point works perfect. So use that to take it out. And it's got a little gasket on it. It's a straight thread, so don't lose the gasket. It's not pipe thread. Again, these are metric threads. Don't hold me to it. But it's M16 or M18, one of them. I think by 1.5, but you can look that up if you really care. I don't. So, because that's going to stay the same. But I need to drill this and tap it for 1/8 pipe thread. So you have to bust out the stuff that's in there. Now, you will be bashing away at this with a pick, a chisel, or something, because there's actually a piece of ceramic in there that you have to shatter. But you'll get it out. So rather than watch me hit things with a hammer, I'm going to smack that pretty good and open it up, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, we're through it. I haven't drilled it yet, just knocked it apart. What I did was I just took a 13/16 socket, set the fitting right on there, or what's left of it. Punch. Smash! And you just knock the guts out through there. So, next thing will be, I'm going to clean the rest of that Mylar out of there. And we got to drill and tap this for 1/8 pipe. All right, I'm going to drill this out with a 21/64 drill bit, which according to Google is a little bit small, but it's probably as close as I have to make it work. And this is aluminum, so it should be easy to drill and tap. So I'll go with the little bit smaller bit to be safe, and then we'll tap it with the 1/8 pipe thread. Same as I did with the 3/8 in the head. I'm just going to do a little at a time, thread in a 1/4" pipe thread fitting, make sure it tightens down and doesn't just bottom out without tightening, and should be good to go. There you go. That 21/64 drill bit worked out just fine. Even though it was a Harbor Freight drill and I had to run through the drill doctor first before it would even cut. Brand new drill bit, junk. And just put it in a vise, drilled it, tapped it, 1/8" pipe thread. Here's my 1/8" fitting to test with. Threads right in. And that'll tighten right up. Yeah. So there you go. No money. Got yourself water temp adapter and an oil pressure adapter for no money. That's how I do it. So I guess that'll be it. Next video, for those who have subscribed and are interested, we'll be back on the 56 pickup and continue this build. See ya.